All right, so I'm here at the Allen Antique Barn, and I'm with one of my best friends going back to high school. So we've known each other for 16, 18 years, somewhere in there now. This is the first interview of this kind that I'm doing on my channel.
Hmm.
So I'm super excited to have it with you. Um, and I want to ask you about this business. So, my first question is going back 16 years to when we were 16 years old, 18 years old, did you ever see yourself owning a business?
Hmm. Well, no. um, First, thank you for letting me be
Did I
here.
introduce you? Did I say your name? This is Tyler Tracy. He is a co-owner with his identical twin brother, Trevor Tracy, of the Allen Antique Barn in Michigan, Allen, Michigan. And you've owned it for how long?
It's been a year and a half,
Okay.
and we have had a lot of great change in that amount of time. And it is somewhat of an unexpected venture that is just turned to it was a savings grace for me, but also it's just turned into a sweet, exciting adventure.
Nice. So so you did not think of owning something like this
No.
as a teenager, or when was the first inclination in your mind that you might want to own any kind of business?
Mm. Um, for me, uniquely, it was desperation, but uh, the opportunity presented itself, and I felt like I would have been dumb not to take it. And um, at that point in time that the opportunity presented itself, I've had enough unique life experiences and career choices that really equipped me for the task. And those all came to a head kind of unknowingly, truly. Um, but taking care of a space, a facility, has always been a
Mm.
part of my careers in the past.
So
And
obviously, I know what your careers are in the past, but what
yeah,
have you done
yeah,
that involved taking care of a space?
yeah, I've worked in the camping and retreat industry for the past 20 years. And that's how we met, was through
Was that
a
20
camp
years ago?
program. Um,
Dang, that was 20 years ago.
yeah, yeah, you said 16, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
up to
I'm
20
still
now.
doing the easy math. It was just half our lifetime ago. Yep.
Yeah, and moved up the ladder. And so, an additional aspect of my past career um, was working with people. And
Yeah.
that's a huge aspect of this industry, because you have the vendors that sell and the customers that buy. Um, and I have 120 vendors alone, let alone the thousands of people that come into this store on a
Yeah.
yearly basis. So a lot of, and staff that I have,
Right.
that I work with.
Right.
Um, so a lot of people to take care of, um, but also 25,000 square feet to manage and maintain.
Yeah. So again, I know the structure of your business, but um, what do you mean when you say vendors? Like, how is this set up?
Mm. Yes, so I am basically a glorified landlord. I have a two-story, 25,000 square feet total pole barn, and it has been divided into small booths that people rent out, and showcase their story, their business, um, and I get the honor of seeing what they bring in, and also closely viewing their success in the things that they source, and um, to just drawing attention to the customers with the amazing and unique things that they find.
So obviously, we are sitting on a pair of antique chairs right now. I mean, there's so much in here, so I wish I could show everything that all the booths have. Maybe I will walk around and do that. There is some amazing stuff in here, but tell me a little bit about what we're spending time on right now.
Yeah, you are sitting on a French provincial Louis the 15th, I think, replica of
Okay.
what would be probably in a dining room, living room, ballroom, not entirely sure, a lounge, just for sitting, greeting, chatting. And then we have several other pieces, like this Hollywood regalia cherub lamp. There's two of them. There's one over there out of sight.
Yep.
And even the tables are decorative hallway tables.
Yeah.
Definitely someone with higher class and prestige, wanting to draw attention to status or to be extra hospitable in kind of the finer things in life to accompany that hospitality. Not my cup of tea per se. I'm more rugged wood grain.
But if we're gonna have a cup of tea, I think setting it on this table would be perfect.
It would be perfect. It would be fitting. It'd tie in with the culture where tea was the prevalent drinking choice for social occasions, and kind of takes you back in time a little bit.
Are these yours? Is this something that you and Trevor own personally and are selling, or is this a vendor?
It's a little bit of both. It
Okay.
is a consigner.
Okay.
We have opened up some of our space to consignment, knowing that some folks have a different ability of sourcing. For example, this vendor, we chose to have as a consigner because he buys storage units and has a huge influx of stuff coming in all the time.
Okay.
And so he actually has a consignment booth that's across the way there.
Okay.
But the unique and incredible pieces that he finds, he wanted a dumping place to move this furniture quickly, and it's fun because his business is Secondhand Zombie, is what it's called, and he says he likes to leave some meat on the bone for somebody else. And so the consignment option for him made way more sense with the business mindset that he has, that he'd like to help pass along some of the excitement and opportunity of the items that he finds.
To you or to whoever buys them?
A little bit of both, where he can make a reasonable offer on probably a higher end piece, where it's not as expensive to attain, but also utilizing the venue here in a unique way where he makes some money and we make some money.
Right.
And the ceiling for that's a little bit various compared to, say, just a typical vendor. We call them partners here because we keep kind of a barn verbiage, a barn aesthetic to our terms. But those folks just pay rent.
Yeah.
And so we know
you don't take a cut of their sales at all.
Correct. That is something actually unique to our establishment and to the town of Allen, which is the capital antique of Michigan.
Yeah. The antique capital
of Michigan. And
the capital of antiques in Michigan.
The capital of antiques in Michigan. And we pride ourselves on that because...
So are you saying, just to clarify this, are you saying you're the only venue of this kind in Allen that does not take a cut of the final sale price?
It's unique to Allen. If the other places do take a commission, I think it's a little bit out of the ordinary, not a typical just...
So you're saying Allen as a town is unique in the world of antique sales?
I think so.
And that as a whole community that historically has done tons of antiques and been a place people come for antiques, that this is the normal setup, is that they rent that all these businesses rent out booths and you pay your rent, but you don't pay a percentage of your sales. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, typically the industry, not only do you pay rent, not only
Gotcha.
do you have to pay for the sourcing of your items,
Yep.
but you also get a commission cut off the top of your sale,
Got it.
typically a 10%
Got it.
minimum. And there's even expectations to work
Mm.
at the place for
Yeah.
1 or
Yeah.
2 days of the week,
Yeah.
or sorry, of the month probably. And we actually don't require any of those extra
Gotcha.
situations. We only ask for rent, which allows our vendors to get the most out of their sales.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will say, because I'm in the transport industry, as you know, and when I've picked up from vendors, like I did a pickup in Denver, Colorado recently, and the person was working at the venue that he was selling at.
Mm.
And I thought that was just because it was like a situation that worked well for him.
Mm.
But now you're making me wonder if that was a requirement of vending from that place.
Yeah, and that is something that's unique to Allen Antique Barn.
Mm.
There are others in Allen that do require participation, or you will be fined.
Because that cuts their overhead down.
Yeah,
They're not having to pay a front desk person.
right,
If it runs on kind of volunteer work from their vendors,
right.
but mandatory volunteer work.
Yeah, and I mean there is some reasonable requests. Like
Yeah.
we have the annual open house for all of Allen.
Mm.
We'll have a 10% barn-wide sale,
Mm.
and other establishments do the same, where they have a and store-wide sale.
Mm.
But several of them require their vendors to work that event
Mm.
because all hands on deck, right? It's the largest sales day of the entire year.
Do you require it?
We do not.
Okay.
We ask if you'd like to.
Okay. Is there any incentive if you do it?
We explain the natural incentive.
Mm.
Customers constantly wonder who the people are that sell the items in here,
Mm.
and to show your face and to be hospitable
Mm.
to the space that they're familiar shopping in
Yeah.
brings a whole new level of charm.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just connects community,
Mm.
seller to buyer, where
Mm.
we're doing it for them
Mm.
majority of the time,
Mm.
all of the time. They don't have to lift a finger for a sale,
Mm.
but it's nice to see participation and it not being required.
I know when I had a booth, and it can only be explained as coincidence, but it was amazing. Every time I came in to do anything with my booth, I'd make a sale.
Mm.
And it was always like, and I'd run into the person who was buying, and it usually made me happy. Like, it didn't necessarily make me feel like I got more sales that day than I already would have, because it probably just coincidence they're going to buy it anyways.
Mm.
But I'd get to see that person who was really happy about whatever they found.
Mm.
I had one, I saw this, she was probably like maybe a 13-year-old girl who had a drum that I was selling.
Mm.
And I heard the conversation before I came up to her and saw her, and she was saying like, well, yeah, it's not going to be like, it's not going to be a $50 drum. This is a $5 drum. I'm not making anything really by selling a drum for $5. But I came around the corner and I saw that she was talking to her younger brother, who was like 7 years old.
Mm.
And I realized that this was this girl who was buying this drum for her younger brother, who was having a birthday.
Mm.
And I just thought that was really cool, and I offered to throw in the rest of the set with it, or whatever I had. It wasn't a full set, but
Oh, cool.
and it was just a cool experience, because it changed it from like, I made $5, big deal, to wow, I was a part of this story where this you know, kid was buying her younger brother a birthday gift, and it was really special. So yeah,
Yeah,
I feel that.
and that's one of the just one of the beautiful things that we see a lot here is that not everybody here is getting stuff from an auction or buying a storage unit and cracking and seeing something cool inside. Some of these people are selling their fathers, mothers, inherited items,
Yeah.
family heirlooms, pieces with memories and stories, and when they experience similar moments, they've lived some years with the item they're passing along to someone else.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it rings even more special,
Yeah.
and some of these booths are completely curated with a loved one's possessions. If it's not, inherited, the other experience is that a lot of these vendors who were original to the gig 26 years ago, they're passing away. And we'll see a spouse or a child of theirs come in and see the business their parent was a part of and keep it going. Do they have any sentiment with the items? No, other than their parent
Connection to their loved
curating
one.
the booth. Yeah. Carrying the legacy of what they built here. And some of it is liquidation from the home, because they still had more from the house, so we get to even see newer items from someone's curating even after they're gone. And it's just interesting to be a part of this particular industry because consumerism is all new. I don't only shop here. I shop at Walmart like everybody else.
Yeah.
And so much packaging, so much just brand new, more poorly made than back in the day. Cheap by the dozen type of plastic toys and stuff.
Yep.
But you walk in here and you see something that was made from 1930 and just feel its weight and its craftsmanship and it's standing the test of time and not needing replaced because it's still well intact.
Yeah.
And you just ask yourself, where have our values changed as a country, as human beings, where everything just seems to be made to break, made to not last you a long time, so that you buy a new one.
Yeah.
It feels good to be a part of an industry that's greener and sustainable and
keeping this stuff circulating and in use.
yeah.
I had a fun delivery just the other day. I picked up this TV console. I didn't even know what all included. The picture just showed it was kind of like a big table, about this size. There was a television in the middle of it. It was from the 1950s. And I'm kind of looking at like, who wants that old TV? Like you can't even sell a TV from the 80s on. You can't give it away on Marketplace, right? But and then I got there and I realized it also had a record player on one side of it, and it had probably a radio on the other side of it, where the top opened up to reveal these things. And the person who was selling it was really cool. He was a performing musician, performed in New York City with the 7-piece Las Vegas style jazz ensemble, and just had a passion for these type of things. Like he had a hard time letting it go, but he was moving and he needed to let this piece go. I think he may have inherited it from a parent or a loved one. But he was also really happy and he said something. I wish I'd actually done a short clip with him and asked him if he would be featured on my channel. But he said, you know, getting to see this go to somebody else who is excited about it is like getting to see it live on and know that this, you know, thing that has a lot of sentimental value to me and that connects me to my loved ones is going to just continue connecting more people. And then when I got to the delivery location, the guy who was receiving it was a lot younger than I expected, and his whole house was just immaculate mid-century modern decor. And I'll probably throw a clip in here if we haven't even run out of storage. We're just talking to each other at this point, but I got a little clip of his living room. I asked permission for that, and he said he'd be happy to let me put that on YouTube and wanted the link to it. So, but just very cool to see somebody's enthusiasm for something and to see it not get thrown away, but to continue to go into use where it will be appreciated. You sound like if 3 years ago you never imagined yourself being here, but now you sound kind of like you're in a place you want to be.
Yeah. I think life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and if you don't learn how to love where you're at, you'll never be happy anywhere. Someone wise told me that one day, and
that was me.
That was him. And
that was when we were in college.
Yeah.
And I remember saying that, because I remember going through in my own thought process then and wondering if I was in the right place at the time and whether I wanted to stay in college. I was thinking about dropping out of school and kind of imagining what life would be in a different setting. And I remember coming to that conclusion, like, if I can't be happy where I am in a good place, you know, what makes me think I will be happy in a different setting? So I'm going to prove it to myself.
Yeah. And another common phrase that I think is relevant too for your question is, home is where you make it. And my life has brought me here, and I'm making the most of it. But I'm also very relevant for this industry because my mother has always decorated our house with antique items. She's been a vendor as a side gig in her retirement. And my father, he was somebody who loved a good yard sale and hoarded so much camping gear and just was kind of choosy about particularly well-made 100% wool clothing or like a vintage lantern that still used kerosene. And so he was a fix-it man. He liked to restore and repair rather than buy new. And I always admired that work ethic and that effort that requires in keeping something maintained or in good shape and not just easily throwing it out for something else. And so I've learned a lot through my parents' example that has applied a lot of knowledge for this industry. I know what I'm looking at when it comes up to the counter. But it's also the joy of seeing what people are excited about finding and them just geeking out, word vomiting about this Pyrex set with a particular pattern on it that grandma used to have, and they found it and they never thought they were going to see it again. Whatever.
Yes, so man, there's so much stuff here. It's incredible. Like, so those very specific things, you're maybe kind of likely to find them here.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a strong why
Mm.
outside of this is a business, I can make money here.
Mm.
You have like a really strong sense of purpose being here.
Yeah. And because my brother and I were born and raised in the area, we do have a lot of pride for the community. So because this was a well-established business before we bought it, 26 years in the running, we have tried to see what was successfully done in the legacy of this place and how we could uniquely add something even more. Because so much of it is running like clockwork because of our forerunners, the pioneers of the town of Allen, the previous owners of this establishment. So much was done for us ahead of time. But the unique spin of the Allen Antique Barn and where we're headed is all the pioneering and effort that Trevor and I uniquely bring to the town of Allen with new ideas and greater services to offer. And so that even adds to our purpose and our why, that we might be able to provide even better service that Allen has ever seen because it's 2025 and the opportunities to have a global market is so much easier. We want to combine culture where it's at with something that's been around us for a long time. The art of reselling has always been around, but we want to make it common day reselling and put this place online.
So tell me a little bit about, and I have talked to you about this before, so it'll be some repeats for me. But tell me a little bit about what that looks like specifically, and how it's received. Because change is always challenging. Change can be important and good and everything else, but it can be challenging too. So, what are you changing? What are you doing, and how is it received?
We were quite ambitious with this major change. Some things that we noticed was if the previous owner would have practiced raising rent to reflect inflation, rent would almost be double of what it is. And
can you give me those numbers?
So vendors, we're currently, when we bought the place, rent was $1.25 per square foot. The industry standard is between $2 and $4 a square foot. So we were lower than average.
Lower than the lowest industry standard.
And so when we considered the data, we realized rent should actually be closer to $2.50 a square foot.
And you're still on the lower third of that industry standard. With that number.
And so though rent by 2027 will be double what it is now in our rent schedule that we have laid out for the next year and a half. We wanted to make sure that when we asked for the cost to rise, that the value of what we offered would also rise, because we know it could be as simple as, well, rent's $2.50 a square foot. Tough.
End of story, end of discussion.
End of story, we don't have to do anything more.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make an offer that not only took care of our partners here, but launches this place into the future. And the online presence is where that's going to occur in our belief system. And we want to utilize platforms that make reselling quite easy, like eBay, like Cherish, like we're dabbling with Whatnot. We're debating on whether that's actually helping the industry or not.
Whatnot? What is Whatnot?
Whatnot is a platform where you can do a live auction, over a streaming
Okay.
service.
Okay.
But quite frankly, it's more liquidation. It's not sustainable.
You're not guaranteed, and maybe that's the difference between Whatnot and some others. Because I do come into contact with people selling on live auction sites
Mm.
when I do shipping, and some of them, I'll show you some of these,
Mm.
command very high prices.
Mm.
But I imagine that, you know, like any startup, the challenge is getting the audience there.
Mm.
So, you know, they can get you to bring your items, but are they bringing the audience?
Mm.
A big enough audience that knows what they're willing to pay and what it's worth, or what it's worth for them,
Right, yeah.
to meet you there and bid against each other. Because if you don't have sufficient bidding at an auction, you're going to sell it at a low price, right?
Right. Yeah, and you know, if you have the security of the inventory being donated, or
Sure.
because you have a delinquent booth and you gotta
Yeah.
liquidate it, that's
Yeah.
kind of how we thought we could utilize that
Sure.
platform. But
And you
if
might
there's
build,
some-
is there a chance you build an audience specifically for your business on that platform?
yeah, I
Get
think
more and more people coming in and interested?
yeah, because we aren't just purely antiques, we're more of a mercantile,
Mm.
where we do have vintage and collectibles,
Mm.
and even just artisan crafts where people are hand making some items, and
Mm.
you can see in eyesight.
Sure, yeah.
I
You
shot
just turn the
here.
camera around.
Um,
You see, so those are those hand blown glass pumpkins I'm looking at?
I think those are a particular brand,
Okay.
but just a little bit farther, someone is. It's this sweet little family. It's a mother and three sons who
Okay.
do resin art
I
together,
gotcha.
and the sons had the desire to have a legitimate business with their
Okay.
mother, and
Okay.
she brings their creations.
Are these like kids you're talking about?
Yeah, like I think one is only 6 years
Okay.
old. The oldest might be 12.
Okay.
And they just have their little pride and joy of a showcase
Very cool.
that is their own business in our establishment. It might only take like 3 square feet
Mhm.
in total, but you know, they have a story, and
That's cool.
it's just
And you're
one of-
facilitating that.
yeah.
You're giving them a space to do that in.
Yeah, and the one aspect that's kind of my superpower in this business is the fact of being able to remember names, faces, stories, from memorizing thousands of children's names through camping and retreat ministry. It's really posed me in a position to be capable of holding 120 people's names.
And matching them to their booth and their story.
Yeah. And that's kind of my personal joy of my job, being able to take care of everyone and know their unique stories.
Yeah.
But because we are such a dynamic venue,
Yeah.
not curating to a specific niche,
Yeah.
you know, I think all of these platforms that we're pursuing are going to be easily utilized, where higher end things like this might be on Cherish,
Gotcha.
but you know, showcasing handmade product on eBay or Etsy,
Yeah.
you know, is kind of the more catered platform for those pieces.
Now I know you've done eBay, and you've seen some success with eBay.
Yeah.
Have you put anything on Cherish or other sites?
We were starting our first listing, and it was with these pieces, and we have another set that we have purchased that is quite exquisite.
The one that I helped you transport?
Yeah, successfully transported. And I mean, even these showcases that are in front of us,
Yeah.
you shipped all of them.
That's true.
And so it's been fun to see your business tie in with our industry quite easily. But Cherish is insanely powerful, but also very particular about how you list things, where eBay kind of lets you just
Do it
point
where you
and
want
shoot.
it. Yep.
Cherish has a list of requirements,
Yeah.
and when we discovered that, we realized, oh wow, we've got some work ahead of us with almost 24 different angles that they require for your
Wow.
one piece,
Wow.
and for it to have a pretty flat background, so they're
So it's very clear what you're looking at, what the buyer's looking at.
yeah, the whole platform is completely curated for a particular look, and it's gorgeous. And I think that's why you get higher
Yeah.
value
Absolutely.
out of your sale.
Presentation matters, and then
Yeah.
by standardizing that their standard is up here, they gain the trust of their customers that they're always buying something of a certain quality.
And because of all the angles, you know
You know what
exactly
you're getting.
what you're getting at every angle. That's important.
Yes.
And they've made it a science. And so, if anything, we've been studying Cherish to see if there's things we can learn about just displaying in general. Online presence is tricky to accomplish with physical product. You really have to convey a true experience through a screen.
Yeah.
Because so many times you'll get a return because of something you didn't quite picture.
And what's this going to look like when it's in your house?
Yeah, even that. Heck, there's even AI tools and apps that can really put a piece in context with a fake background. It's amazing what is possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of antique stores like mine are in the Stone Ages when it comes to selling to advertising and even utilizing the internet, kind of prehistoric practices.
Yeah.
we want to do our best to have the most attractive and effective tools possible to maximize selling, because that's at least our job as the host in the venue is we'll get people in front of your stuff.
Yeah.
And something that we've been doing for the past year and a half has been raising the bar and expectation that hopefully your stuff is worth seeing.
And worth putting in front of people. Yeah.
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 And you know, everybody's been stepping it up, and it's a team effort. You know, my 120 vendors will hear me say all the time behind the front desk, when we get a compliment about how much better this place looks in just a year and a half than it has ever in 26 years, our response is, it's a group effort.
Yeah.
It's not just my business. It's 120 other people's businesses too. And when we all work together and when we all put in effort, we all win. And that's kind of another joy about this job that I didn't really expect, to feel that level of pride, to do my part in making sure everybody's lights work, that the floor is clean, that this place doesn't smell bad, but then it's accompanied by perfectly curated nooks and crannies with incredible, unique, one-of-a-kind findings. It's a double whammy, and the town and the tri-state area is noticing.
Nice.
And it's been quite exciting to hear the feedback.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to leave it off there just because I'm worried about storage. I don't even know if the camera's still running. But can you show me the resin pieces that you're talking about? We'll take a look at the display cases that I transported here for you, and maybe the other set of furniture too that I had a part in transporting.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're still going. That's great. All right. What about these resin pieces?
All right. Yeah, we can
All right.
start there too.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Show me
I'm
what
just
you
going
want.
to point out that this is just a portion of the showcases that Jimmy shipped for us.
Quite a job.
We purchased 28 showcases, and so this might be a little over half.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in this space specifically. Yep.
But they are scattered throughout our entire store, and it was no joke getting them upstairs. But this adorable family that
Oh,
we
wow.
mentioned earlier.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for 6-year-olds, 12-year-old, one in between, you know, they have great ideas. They have these cute characters like frogs. They really
Mhm.
love frogs.
They use molds, I assume.
Yeah, molds,
And
and
then
you
they
know,
press this composite material in. They choose the colors.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's clear, so they have to intentionally add these colors.
Yeah.
And place like the little stones that you see in there.
Yeah.
And not only that, resin varies. My girlfriend was getting into some resin,
Mm-hmm.
and she's on day like 6 or 7, and her
Okay.
resin still hasn't settled. So it just
Yeah.
goes to show that sometimes these pieces do take a long time to cure.
Yeah.
And you know, every single piece is intentional and thought out.
Yeah.
So kudos, guys, being young entrepreneurs, making it happen, and we really appreciate you choosing the barn to do that.
Nice.
And then over here we have this other beautiful set of furniture that Jimmy helped us ship. And there's a beautiful story here too. We got to enjoy getting to know the couple that sold this to us a little bit over a nice two-hearted ale. And just hearing that they have 25 Thanksgivings at this table, and
Yeah.
it is in beautiful condition, and the way that it works is so cool. I love the wood grain. I love the look.
Can you remind me how this table works? Because
Yeah.
I remember discovering it as we were. Tyler was here. We went together to get this, and we worked on this together.
The leaf is built in, and I don't even know if I have enough space, but then the top falls into place so
Yeah.
that the leaf will stay extended.
And there's one on both
flush.
sides, so this table basically doubles in size.
Yeah, it is incredible, and you don't have to store the leaf anywhere. You don't have to like lift and insert the leaf. You pull it out, and
Yep.
it locks into place. And all you have to do is lift the table again and slide it right underneath. One person can do it by themselves.
Incredible. The design, the planning, the application, and the product. It's a beautiful table.
Yeah, and the matching, just masterful craftsmanship on the buffet and on the hutch.
Now, I remember one of these, you open it up and it says Grand Rapids, Michigan in here. I think it's this one.
But yes, they are locally made
Yeah.
in our state.
I'm not seeing it here, but there's the label there on that one.
Berkey and Gay Furniture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says Grand Rapids, Michigan in there somewhere. But is there anything else you want to highlight around the store?
We also have a lot of records. One of our staff members does an incredible job at just finding high quality. Just the covers are in great shape. He play tests them and cleans them so that he makes sure there's no skips, and so you can confidently buy a record from him.
There's more than Barry Manilow, just to be clear.
Yes.
Super Tramp.
He organizes them by genre too.
Okay.
Which is really nice. So if you know exactly what you're looking for, as long as customers keep them in their spots, you can quickly browse.
That is
really cool, too.
so much nicer than going to the Salvation Army and looking through a batch of records and just hoping there's one in the genre you're looking for.
And I mean, some of them are incredible. Like this one is really neat. Hotel California Eagles Classic. This sometimes can go for $40. Which it's crazy because records back in the day were $1.99.
Right.
And it just goes to show how much people are enjoying the physical medium of music.
Yeah.
I personally have geeked out because of this being my house as well. You can actually look into my apartment. We left the door open. Um, but because I live here, I'm surrounded by records and CDs and
Yeah.
cassettes and 8 tracks, and I've got the bug. I love listening to physical mediums of music.
Now, do you have a booth here?
I have several.
So can you just buy some records and then jam out to them and then just put them back in your own booth, resell them?
Yeah,
There's an idea for you.
yeah. I also have the joy of listening to them and putting them back. But I do dabble. Most of the time, my booths are when a partner passes away and a partner or family do not want to take on the business venture. I often offer to buy them out when they are a good vendor. And I bought, just for an example on the opportunity, I purchased a lot from a partner. He passed and his wife wasn't interested, and so I asked them to give me a price on the whole thing. He had 3 booths, and $500 was the agreeing price.
Yeah.
And I just was amazed because there was more than 500 items just amongst the 3 booths. And when I looked at the precision of placing paper vintage advertisements and postcards and other products still in the box from the 1940s, 1950s. I mean, this guy was meticulous, and I thought it was such a generous offer that I would have been stupid to say no.
Yeah.
And so I bought that about a year ago, and I've already made 4 times that. And so I still have 2 booths full. So I'm not even done selling, and I've already made 4 times my money, paid myself back, and 4 times
Beyond that.
since then.
Yeah.
So that is just an incredible opportunity, and I'm grateful for such incredible time and effort and meticulous
On
work
his
that
part.
went behind that.
Yeah.
But I get to carry on his legacy. His name was Randy Johnson, and he was one of the most legendary vendors here who was top 10 for probably a decade. And what an honor. So this job keeps having surprises. I keep learning, I keep growing, and it came at the perfect time for me in my life and my personal story. So you never know what you're gonna get.
I might cut it there. Thanks for the interview. I learned more than I knew about your feelings about the business and what it looks like and what it's going to look like. So it's an awesome first interview. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.